With your permission, we may start. As all of you are aware, that both in the Rajya Sabha and in the Lok Sabha, the Indian National Congress had raised the issue of electoral bonds. Even yesterday, our leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha, our deputy leader in the Rajya Sabha, and our floor leader in the Lok Sabha, and the chairperson of our communications department, they had briefed you extenso about the electoral bonds. So therefore, it is not my intent to go into the facts, for the facts are now extremely well known, documented. They are in the public space. Few news websites have done seminal work in bringing the facts into the public domain. What we would like to focus on today is the reason why electoral bonds and their completely opaque nature is a fundamental threat to democracy as it stands constituted. See, democracy is a function of public trust. And the 900 million, 950 million Indians who elect their representatives and send them to the House of the People and send representatives to the various state assemblies, they expect that their representatives would raise issues of public interest and, in a sense, do their bidding. However, when democracy becomes hostage to the influence of big money, you are skidding down a slippery slope. And it's not very evident as to when that skid is really going to stop. The framers of the Indian Constitution and the successive governments which followed from 1952 onwards had put in place a very robust architecture, a very robust legal architecture to insulate our political processes from the pernicious influence of big money. Because they had seen as to how big money had played an extremely deleterious role in democracies around the world. All of you would recall that at the turn of the 20th century, which was the Rockefeller era in the politics of the United States of America, how that was called the Gilded Age of American politics, and the role which money was playing in choices which elected representatives were making. And finally, the United States had to enact the antitrust laws in order to break large corporations, to bring this money power to a heel. And that's why successive governments had made sure that our electoral finance system or our political financing system should be kept as free from the influence of big corporate money as possible. So you had provisions in the Income Tax Act, in the Companies Act, in the Income Tax Act, in the Foreign Exchange Management Act, and various other laws which sought to insulate and isolate this influence of money. In 2017, in the guise of the finance bill,